When men are healthy, they love the feeling of providing containment for the women in their lives. In fact, it gives them tremendous purpose, value, and self-confidence to do so. It's my hope that within society, and especially amongst men, there will be more awareness about this issue around lack of containment. And then there will be men who step up and provide containment for other men and who teach them how to contain women. You can definitely learn how to contain a woman. Providing containment in a relationship is not something that only makes a woman feel good in a relationship. It's also something that makes a man feel good in a relationship.
What is this idea of containment? What does it mean, and why is it so important in relationships, not just man to woman relationships, but just human relationships in general? So this is Teal Swan talking about containment, why it's important that men provide containment to their woman, and just bringing awareness to this topic. So that's my golden objective of this video, is just make you aware of what containment is. And I learned this from people like Teal Swan. More importantly, Rapani, he's got a great series on containment where you can deep dive into it. He goes into a lot more detail. I'm just going to give you an understanding of what it means for me, and hopefully you can see the relevance in your life. And this is extremely important when it comes to attracting women, seducing women, keeping things thriving in a long-term relationship. This all falls into it. So what is containment? The first thing that I understand containment, it's more like emotional and energetic versus physical. So what does that mean? Like an image you can think of containment as, like, imagine like a lady who's kind of like stressed out and something just happened and she like runs home and she's got like this big guy and he like gives her a big bear hug. And as soon as like he's hugging her, her system relaxes, her system comes into calm. Now, even though that was induced by like a physical act of a hug, which can be a way of giving containment, it's more like her emotions and her energy is coming down. Like, imagine people have emotional fields, which I believe they do, around the physical body. You can't see emotions, but you can feel them. Like how dogs can smell fear. It's almost like woman, and not just today, I think from what I understand, the feminine is more prone to chaos. It's more prone to getting stressed and getting frazzled and freak out. It also has to do with their hormones. They're on a cycle where they go through times of the month where they're awesome and everything's happy, and then go through times of the month where their hormones already bring them down and they're just all over the place, where men we're a bit more consistent in this regard. So being able to provide a woman with containment is being able to, when she's in this kind of state, ground her energies, make her feel more calm, comfortable, and sane, where she's like, that feels good. You can compare it in some way almost to like the feeling of a massage. When you go for a massage and you're stressed about this, you're stressed about that, they start putting their hands on your body, start touching you, and then your system starts to relax and you walk out of there and you're like, I feel much better after that, So that can be one way of doing it. Now, one of the most important things about containment that I've learned is you have to be contained first. And this is where most men are stuffing up. Because like I said, containment is like you're grounded, you're centered, you're calm. And in your little energy bubble, your emotional bubble, when you're calm and grounded and the woman's all frazzled, then she starts to come into your system more and gets less frazzled and less frazzled and less frazzled. But the opposite of containment, and this happens a lot in relationships. So if you're in a relationship, it's like the woman's in chaos. You're supposed to be contained, grounded, holding the chaos, but her chaos brings you into chaos. So she gets emotional, stressed out, chaotic, anxious, and then you get emotional and stressed out, chaotic, and anxious. That's not a really good combination. That's not a really good way to provide containment. You're actually throwing fuel on the fire of chaos. You're throwing fuel on the fire of stress, where you should be the calm and grounding presence when it comes to this idea of containment. And this can also come, you're meeting a girl on a street, on a first date. If you're like nervous and like, should I kiss her? And like, oh my gosh, am I talking too much? Is she talking too much? It's like, lack of containment is often in the head. It's overthinking. That's a good way of thinking about it. It's like, what should I say? She said, and then it's like, woman can sense it. Like, this guy's in his head, all his energy's up here, and guys are thinking like, she doesn't know that. but she can. Women can sense energy a lot better than men can. And that's why guys who are like, don't give a shit, that's attractive. Why? Because it's a form of containment. It's not like I don't care about you, but someone's like, yeah, I'm out here, I'm here to enjoy myself. If things go well, awesome. If they don't, no problem. But that's not what most guys are thinking. They're like, oh my gosh, I really want this to go well. Am I talking too much? Is she talking enough? How am I going to make this happen? No matter what you do and say and what game techniques you use from that place of uncontainment, she's always going to like be repulsed. She's not going to drop her guard and really let you in. But sometimes when you go in there and you're very contained, the woman just relaxes up. She's so much more free flowing. She's so much more expressive. She's so much more able to invest in the conversation. She's willing to show you parts of her sexuality that wouldn't be if she has like her guard up. So the point I'm going to wrap it with here is when it comes to containment is work on being self-contained. This is why I love teaching guys cold approach pickup, because it's almost like the ultimate training ground for containment, because it's a cold approach is like holding onto an electric wire, like a live wire. You're going there, people are walking around, there's a girl, they're like, hey, excuse me. She's looking at you like, who the hell's this guy? It's like, okay, it's one thing to be calm and grounded and contained sitting on your yoga mat meditating. That's a good place to build containment. But then when the rubber meets the road in the real world, that's where your real containment will be tested. A couple of years ago, I did a boot camp with a guy. He's a really cool guy, poker player, very into like yoga and meditation and all these types of things, and like very spiritual in a lot of ways. But it was just really interesting because one time, like, met some girls and like brought them back to the house where everyone was staying, and all of a sudden this guy's like freaking out and like, wait, do we have to, how much wine should we get, like, wait, which girl do you like which girl do I like? And I was almost like looking at this guy and I'm like, bro, what the hell is wrong with you? You're normally the most calm, chill, grounded guy, all meditation, all peace, all of this stuff. But it wasn't true, or it wasn't well formed. It can be maybe in some areas, but like I said, with women, you'll get tested in your levels of containment more than any other area probably in your life. So yeah, use the battlefield of women, use the space of women, whether it's relationships or you being single, to test your level of containment. How much can you be the calm when the chaos is flying? How much can you stay centered when things get frazzled? Most guys, they go into chaos way too often. It's very unattractive for women to be around. They like being around a calm, steady, grounding presence. There's something very attractive about that. So hope you understand the idea of containment a little bit better. Like I said, so many other resources out there. Go check out Rapani's YouTube channel, type in containment, and he's got like 3 or 4 videos where he goes much deeper than I do, and you'll have a much more well-rounded idea of the concept, which is super crucial at this time when it comes to creating successful, thriving, win-win relationships between men and women. You have to know what containment is. You have to get really good at containment, and that can take a long time, but here's a first step, bringing some awareness to it. So hope you enjoyed the video. Practice your containment, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.